Okay, let me see. Yep, I think we'll go ahead and get started right now. So this is the second in our MSJC Pathway Informational Series. Last week we were touching on business, computer science, and cybersecurity. And this week we're talking about water technology, engineering drafting, and the wonderful, exciting world of geographic information science as well. Please spread the word. We're going to be doing these each week with the exception of the week, I think it's the week of the 24th. We won't be because there's another event going that particular week, but otherwise we have a couple more sessions left and we'll provide some more information about that later on. But let's go ahead and start and talk about what we are covering today. So today we're going to start off by talking about water technology first. That is one of our MSJC apprenticeship programs. And we're also going to touch on engineering drafting, another MSJC apprenticeship program. And then lastly, we're going to talk about geographic information science and the exciting new developments that are coming there. And we'll be talking about how to get connected and get started. But before I go on, I always neglect to introduce everybody. There's going to be three main presenters this afternoon, but we're also fortunate to be joined by instructional faculty as well. So my name is Megan Baskell. I am a counselor based out of the Temecula campus, and I am on the Business, Technology, and Entrepreneurship pathway. And I am also the counselor for our apprenticeship program. And I will send April.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is April Wardwell. I am also a counselor with the Business Entrepreneurship pathway, and I am also the 2+2 coordinator for software engineering and business administration pathway, and I am located at the Menifee Valley campus.
Excellent, thank you. And Roy.
Well, my name is Roy Mason, and I am a professor of biology, environmental science, and geographic information sciences.
Thank you. And then I know we also have Melita here joining us as well from Water Technology. We'll have a chance for you to talk a little bit more later on about the program, but would you introduce yourself, Melita?
Melita Caldwell Bettis, Department Coordinator, Water Technology Program. I've been working closely with Tom, who I was hoping here to kind of explain in more detail about our apprenticeship program, what's our goals and aims as well as objectives.
Yes, I think, Tom, are you here as well? Would you like to, if you are here, would you introduce yourself as well? So are you here? Oops, I think, oh, you're waiting. He's waiting. Let's admit him.
Okay, yeah.
He was in the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's a couple more people coming in. Tom, are you here yet as well? We didn't mean to leave you out in the waiting room.
Oh, sitting there by myself, reading magazines.
I'm so sorry. We were just introducing ourselves and we just went to have you introduce yourself and realized you were missing. If you wouldn't mind just saying hello and introduce yourself.
But you interrupted my article. I was reading. So anyway, I'm Tom Oxford, and I work with all these folks as the apprenticeship director, and we're building a lot of interesting stuff here. I know that it's going to be an interesting program today.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And if Ricky, you can advance us to the next screen. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about apprenticeship. And Tom, of course, jump in wherever you feel like we're missing something or just have something wonderful to contribute. But I'd love for us to start with just this very brief video on what is apprenticeship.
Looking for education with flexibility that matches your lifestyle? A solution is right in your backyard. The Launch Apprenticeship Network, a regional initiative hosted by your local Inland Empire and Desert Community Colleges, is connecting students to careers in automotive, manufacturing, culinary arts, information technology, and cybersecurity. You see, apprenticeship is a form of employment that gives you the tools you need in the classroom, but places a heavy focus in on-the-job training. This allows employers to hire students during the early parts of their education because the training has been customized to fit their needs. Apprentices generally work full-time while taking a minimal amount of courses that fit around their career. Oh, and one last thing we thought you might want to hear. Apprentices within the Launch Initiative enjoy tuition-free college, making a debt-free education a reality. Whether you're ready to be the next great chef or manufacture items we use on a daily basis, check out the Launch Apprenticeship Network at launchapprenticeship.org.
So a great little video. The only thing is, of course, we want to see pictures of water technology, engineering, drafting, because of course that's what we're talking about today, but it is still the same model of apprenticeship, the same benefits that were all mentioned in that video right there. So the apprenticeship program is what's called an earn and learn model. So you are working and you're earning money out in the field when you get to the on-the-job training portion of it, but you're also still in the classroom learning. But then it's kind of, there's a synergy kind of going on there that you're able to bring what you're doing out in the field back into the classroom. The classroom learning is feeding what you're doing in the field. And so it really is a synergistic experience that's going on as you're going through the apprenticeship program, where you're developing industry-specific skills, earning wages that are based on your experience. You're working towards an award at MSJC, and at the completion of the program, getting a state-sponsored industry certificate. And as the video said, we're looking at fee waivers when it comes to the program courses, that paid on-the-job training, mentor support that's industry specific, but then also a counseling support, which in this case is me. And also then industry, like I said, it's an industry-led certified program from one of the bodies there. Is there anything you want to add, Tom?
No, this is right on the mark. And the fact is that we're developing more programs as we go. And we started with automotive. That's just the front end.
Exactly. So we're just growing because it makes a lot of sense, and it's really exciting then for students to be able to doing really hands-on activities and seeing that direct connection between what you're learning in the classroom and how that translates out into the real world, and where you're actually getting money and getting paid doing something you absolutely love. So if we can go to the next slide. And so the first one I wanted to talk about today is the Water Technology Apprenticeship Program. Go to the next slide. This is a video, this is not from our program, but gives a little idea of what water technology is for students who are joining us, or if you're going to be sharing this with students, to kind of get an idea, a sneak peek. And Melita, then too, after the video, if the video is missing anything, I would love for you to be able to share anything that's a little bit more about the field, maybe in the area.
My name is Jose Rodriguez. I'm the Assistant Project Manager and Chief Plant Operator at Veolia Water. I run and monitor plant operations on a day-to-day basis. I began by being a laborer. So when I started 19 years ago, I used to weed whack this whole area. I used to go all the way around, work my way through the ranks, and became certified as the years went on. It was a valuable part of my training, was doing all the work that nobody else wants to do. We treat wastewater and clean it up to Title 22 standards, almost as clean as drinking water. That water is then recycled and taken to ag for reuse. That reuse irrigates crops, which goes back into the water table and goes back into our aquifer, and we can reuse it once again. The wastewater career is very satisfying. The pay can be really, really good. In a couple of years, you can make enough money to, buy your own home in wherever area you want to go to. A lot of people come in now, they could do the college course, the college programs. There's associate's degree programs, there's bachelor's degree programs that they can enter, and they could go straight into laboratory, they can go straight into administrative, or some people go the mechanic course, and there's a lot of need for mechanic operators. There is a great opportunity for new qualified certified operators. In the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a vast amount of demand for certified operators. I like the freedom. I like the freedom of being in the outdoors. I do have an office, but I also have the liberty of going out and about and doing inspections on equipment. I also like the environmental part of it. This gives me much pride working in Hollister and providing a service back into my county. To me, it's something that that I don't think I can get doing another job.
That's more from Central California, but is there anything that you could add? How does that feel for our area too, Melita?
No, I was going to say it's very good with respect to Veolia. Interesting is the fact that it's all over California.
Mhm.
And even though it came from Central Valley, I thought they did a very good job of explaining what we can offer, also doing a bridge into the actual college education and what we're trying to do with respect to blended learning, the earn and learn model. So no, well done. Very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah.
Excellent. I think it's really exciting, again, showing all those opportunities and the job growth
Mhm.
potential in that area.
Yes.
So here at MSJC, we have program maps designed for 2 different areas. We have it for water treatment, and we also have it for wastewater treatment. And so you can get an idea for the classes. There's some overlap with that intro to water and that basic waterworks mechanics. I know, Melita, you and I have talked about the importance of math,
Mhm.
especially in the certification process, and really making sure they're comfortable with math and being able to use that as you're going and getting your state certifications. But then you can, the difference comes on the 3rd line, whether you're going to be doing that 1, 2 of the treatment plant operation, or that and the 3, 4, 5 following that, or the wastewater. But then both have including those test procedures, the environmental laws and regulations, and then the wells, pumps, and motors. And
Okay,
there's opportunity. Oh, go ahead.
just one question. It's called basic waterworks math. You guys got basic
Oh.
waterworks mechanics. That's all.
Thank you. Typo.
That's all right. But
Everyone's
I
like,
just want
why
to
is
make
she
sure we
talking?
communicate correctly. That's all.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's important too, because everyone's probably going, why is she talking about math when it says
Mhm.
mechanics? But
Yeah.
yes, that's basic waterworks mathematics
Mhm.
should be in there, and that's really a key class. And they're
I have to
highlighted.
tell you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but math makes everybody crazy, with the exception of a very few people. And the intent of the water program and others is to be sure that
Mhm.
you've got the solid foundation that you absolutely are going to need in this area.
Definitely.
And let me add is introduction to water and wastewater operations, that water 500 class.
Okay,
That's the correct title on it as well too. But yeah,
Right.
other than that, everything's looking good.
perfect. And we have those highlighted on here because those, when you start as a water student, those are the intro courses. We want to make sure you're comfortable, you're understanding what you're getting into, which is a positive thing. And then from there is where we start building the professional development after that. In your first semester, we're really looking at doing, giving you some space to build your career profile. So we really talk about your strengths, your motivating skills, your values, your interests, and we build a career profile so that you're able to then answer the question in an interview saying, tell us about yourself, that a student can do that. And then it's into that 2nd and 3rd semester where we're working on getting a resume, we're working on interview skills. And then also in the case of water, we're transitioning you to making sure that you're doing your state certifications as well, looking at doing those T1, D1 certifications as you're going forward. And we have information on all of that. So those are let's go to the next slide. This is just in our program, we have, and this is for all of our apprenticeship programs, we have a career advancement training Canvas module that does exactly what I was just talking about. We build in the career development into the program. So you're building a career profile early on. You're learning the language of employers so that when you're out there, you understand what employers are looking for, why they're asking the interview questions that they're asking, and how to answer them in a way that best represents you. So we're working on that throughout the program, and we do that in a Canvas shell. We have a cohort that goes through each semester, and we build a community where the students are able to talk to each other, have discussions and things like that, and then communicate directly with counseling throughout as well. And so you're curating different answers to interview questions and really preparing for on-the-job success. And the big thing is building confidence so that when you are ready for on-the-job placement, which does not happen again in semester 1, we're looking at more down the line, depends on the placement, could be 2, 3 semesters in, then that you're really confident and you're going in prepared for that next stage. So a little sneak peek to what the job looks like for apprenticeship programs. You are a paid employee of the company. So it is not, this really differentiates it oftentimes from an internship, which may have a smaller amount of hours per week, maybe like 8, 10 hours for an internship. We're really looking at 25 hours plus In some cases, could be closer to 40 hours full-time work because you are an employee of the company. So that's just having that expectation going in that you will be transitioning to employment is part of apprenticeship. You'll also have a set group of tasks to complete. This is really great that you don't get stuck doing the same task day in and day out, that there's a mentor on the job and the MSJC team making sure that you're getting exposed to a variety of skills in the placement setting. And we're always in communication with the employer. It's really a team approach as you're going through. And while you're going and working, you're taking continuing courses at MSJC that are in the program or that might be related and are helping you develop your skills. I'm going to next. So how would you get started? Basically, how you would get started is you would apply to MSJC and you would complete the apprenticeship application form. And you can always email me. So if you take a screenshot or grab this recording, you can reach out to me directly and we'll get you going then on the next step. And I'm hoping that the next slide I have, yes, meet the faculty. I wanted to throw it back to you, Melita, if I could, and maybe talk a little, if you could just maybe explain the class, maybe some of the classes that you teach and any kind of other experiences in the industry you might want to share with us.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Just making sure I didn't mute myself. Okay, so basically my background is wastewater operations, but I have taught water treatment, water distribution. We've added a couple other classes that we don't have on there as well too, Tom, wastewater collections. We've done water utility management and we've done water use efficiency. So that's a new one for us beginning this spring semester. So that's the first for the addition of those 3 classes. And also we have what's called exam refresher classes. So just like our students would take those actual classes identified under the water core curriculum or under the wastewater core curriculum within the apprenticeship program. What's not in there is that we have a support system where we can train those students that come out of those modules with exam refresher classes so they can successfully pass the exam. So we're here to support them all throughout their way. Let's see what else I need to tell you. With respect to the field, we're looking forward, like Tom has already started trying to get this program off. We're looking for funding support as well too to get this program started off. And what we're just trying to do is just make sure that our students have an outlet, like, with respect to workforce replacement, trying to ensure that they can actually find jobs in the field. So I think I covered everything, I guess. I talked about the classes. And like I said, our program is always expanding. I know we have engineering here, is that correct? And we have, what was the other one? Geographical information systems, correct too?
Yeah.
I actually have written an actual geographical information system for water resources class. So that is somewhere that we can tie in. And there was another one I want to talk about too. I just forgot, it slipped off of my mind. But again, anything that we can do to pair up with respect to cross disciplines to support our students, I am willing to support. And plus it makes our students more well-rounded and marketable in the industries that we serve as well too. So I'm here to support you guys.
I love it. And we definitely have found that already with some of our apprentices who have been taking water technology classes. And then we've had one who is interested in doing engineering drafting at the same time, still wanting to work within the water industry, but trying to pick up as many skills as possible to be able to get him where he can, but then I'll just to try different experiences as well. So that's one of the reasons we chose these different disciplines, because there's definitely that overlap, which is really exciting when you kind of mix the skills and find those unique combinations. Thank you so much. So let's go to the next slide, which we are going to be talking about the world of engineering drafting. And go from the next slide. And with this, another brief video on kind of what this entails.
My name is Ton Du, and I teach 3D computer-aided drafting. If you're a student interested in drafting and mechanical design, this program offers more than just the simple 2D design, graphics design. It dives into 3D modeling, parametric design. It covers 2D drafting, the 3D modeling, and the end result. Well, there's a number of designing and drafting positions available. It spans from architecture to mechanical design, drafting, landscaping.
After taking the first class, I just fell in love with it. I was like, oh my God, I really, really like working with just like drawing and scaling things. And if you don't feel comfortable using a computer, you shouldn't be afraid of it because they're very willing to help you with it. But it does require a lot of time sitting in front of a computer.
Anyone with a technical inclination would do extremely well in these classes, but I don't think it's a prerequisite to go into this field. I think if just having the interest in it will serve well. Although the technical skills would be helpful, I think just the desire, the passion to pursue this is the biggest driver. The skills, more or less, can be taught and picked up in practice. This department does a great job in reaching out and working with the community where employers who have immediate opening needs or have something coming up would reach out to the college, knowing that students that complete this program are well suited to take that role. We get emails from employers asking for students who might be interested in a drafting position that they might have opening, or a mechanical design position they might have opening, or an internship. They're looking for students out of this program because they know that the material and the content taught here will well prepare any students into that position.
Perfect. So that was another video from the California Community College system. And this is a program that's been really revitalized here at MSJC these last few years. And there's a lot of exciting things that are happening right now. For the apprenticeship program, this is the sequence of courses that we would have the apprentice go through. So we see that computer aided drafting, the CAD courses, the design and development, the intro to engineering, the SolidWorks, and the intro to engineering design. And again, we see that yellow highlighted course, kind of that like, let's try things out to see how excited you are and moving you on to the next step. Then kind of looking at the possible, moving you into the Canvas course and doing the career profile and the development from there. So with this program, it's exact same. The apprenticeship structure is exactly the same as the water technology. If we go to the next slide, it will be a familiar slide because it is, again, the Canvas course. Exact same thing. Students are exploring again, moving through, getting all prepared, learning the language of employers so that not only are they gaining those technical skills, we're dealing with employability skills. Students are earning digital badges and really getting professionally prepared to enter the workforce while still being able to be a student at the same time.
Before you go on to another slide, Megan,
Yeah.
I'll point out what may be obvious to the audience, and that is that in the case of every one of the occupations that we're dealing with in the apprenticeship programs, we're going to have a set of courses for related instruction. And the first courses are going to be the foundational courses, so that when a student comes in, they're going to get some basics in the occupation so they don't get thrown out into the business world with nothing. They'll have they'll have their feet on the ground. They'll be accepted as a consequence of that into the workplace as apprentices. The workplace will know that they're supposed to provide on-the-job training on top of that. And then we try to keep up with the what's going on in the workplace by doing additional courses. And every one of the courses that are prescribed and additional ones in every occupational area are fee waived.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Yes, that's just they're picked and designed to help prepare you and to enter into the workforce again with confidence.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm. And so again, how you would get started with the engineering drafting, it's simply applying to MSJC and then completing the apprenticeship application, but I can help you get connected with the apprenticeship application. So again, you can take my information, and let me take a moment too, because your video is on now, Ricky, to introduce Ricky Toth as well. Would you maybe unmute and just introduce yourself, Ricky?
Hello, my name is Ricky Toth. I'm the Administrative Associate for the Department of Career Education at Menifee, and also the administrative support for the apprenticeship program.
So Ricky is going to help not walk you through, but help connect you with your application. You won't need to be walked through it. He'll connect you with that, and he and I will work with you in the front end to get you all set up and ready to go for your registration for your classes with the fee waiver. And then I help with all the education planning and just getting you going with the next steps as we're going through. Thank you, Ricky. So let's go to the next slide, which now we're going to transition to the world of geographic information science. And although we don't have an apprenticeship program yet, maybe some exciting things to come here, but I will turn it over to my colleague, Roy Mason from here.
All right, well, thank you, Megan. 20 years ago, most of us had probably never heard of GIS. But about 20 years ago, these things came into our hands. And once we started getting these smartphones, GPS became something that most of us were aware of, global positioning systems. And of course, now on the news, we hear about all the satellites that are up there, all the GPS satellites. Any place you go in the world, if you've got one of these in your pocket, someone knows where you are. You can figure that out. But the global positioning systems are all part of geospatial or geographic information sciences. And geographic information sciences is the science behind what we do with the global positioning. So Megan, maybe you can push forward to the next slide there. And we look at, so what is geographic information sciences? And this slide just tells us that refers to this system that is a rapidly growing area of study. And so now, Megan, I'm going to ask if you'll let me take over the screen for a minute. And I'm going to go here to share my screen. And let's look at what the future is with GIS.
To navigate the path ahead, we've always relied on those who see things differently. They show us that the possible can be a matter of how you see it. Today, as change accelerates and complexity grows, now more than ever, we need those who can see what others can't to find our way forward. Over the years, many who see differently have shared with us how they see the future. Their vision continues to inspire us.
There is an urgent need to develop a science of cities.
I learned map making in the United States Navy to help peacemakers avoid battle in the first place.
We are creating a better connected and better informed citizenry.
Jobs are going to require higher levels of thinking and decision making. So GIS is important because it helps students to be lifelong learners.
This is polio, a devastating disease which we can wipe off the face of the earth. That shows the power of GIS to help us change the future.
I think the absolute cutting edge of map making has to do with mapping the brain. These are going to be some of the most intricate maps humans have ever built.
80% of the species on the planet are still unknown to science. So task number one, to try to save species, we're going to have to be doing a lot of mapping.
We emerged through our long path of evolution by using our brain. Using our brain, rivers that we've utterly polluted can be once again made to run clean and pure. Places that have been utterly destroyed can be given another chance.
If we just use the technologies, join together with our minds and our hearts, there will be a different world, one that will be happy that your grandchildren and mine will have on into the future.
Together, we have the power to choose the way forward. We have the power to see what others can't.
And so I'm going to kick it back there to Megan, but I think that video just captures what GIS is. GIS is all of our lives together anymore. It's not just in the old days, it was you made maps, but now every part of our life. For instance, I really like that mapping the human brain. Mapping the human brain is part of what GIS is. And when we look at these areas, then we see how it goes into all of these various different things that are there. So if we look at our next slide there, it talks about what we are doing at MSJC as far as our GIS, Geographic Information Sciences. Now we have an associate degree in Geographic Information Sciences, as well as certificates in GIS work. And so you can go for a full 2-year degree, or we have units, for instance, in the one that we have put up here. This is our new certificate that we will start offering next year in drone applications in GIS sciences. And this again is just an amazing new thing. Many of those pictures that you saw in that video were taken by drones. And so learning how to operate drones, learning how to do the photography of drones. We mentioned earlier, Melita talked about using drones in water technology, using drones in engineering, using drones for surveying. Drones are used in many, many, many different kinds of applications, but it's more than just learning how to take a drone and how to fly it. You've got to learn the intricacies of it. You've got to be a professional for it. And so next year, we will start our certificate, which basically leads to a commercial drone operator's license. And I thought, Megan, maybe you can hit the next slide there. And this looks a little bit at our overall Geographic Information Sciences program map, talks about what you do in the different semesters. And again, when you go to someone like Megan, go to some of the other counselors, they'll go through how you go through these. But again, this is the program that's our geographic information. And you notice there that in 2 semesters, you end up with 20 units, and those 20 units then provide you with the Geographic Information Certificate, which allows you the entry position into there. Now, part of being a commercial drone operators, you have to get a commercial drone pilot's license. And once you get that license, then you need to do things, for instance, things that Tom was talking about, things that Melita was talking about. You've got to practice. You've got to have the experience in doing it. It's one thing to fly it for a hobby. It's a whole nother thing to do it as a career. And so part of our program is to give you that practice. And we hope that all of our students in these 20 semester units will come out with 20 hours of actually drone pilot flying, so that you will have access to professional drones. You will learn the technology behind it, and you'll develop a portfolio which then you can take to employers. So maybe the next slide, Megan, or Ricky, I guess, is controlling our slides there, isn't he? So it looks at how you get started here. And I thought that what I'd like to do is, and this is a little bit more of a complex slide or video, but it covers what you learn in drone applications. And so I think we've got enough time. It's about 7 minutes long, but let's see if we can do that. So Ricky, if you can turn it back over to me, I will look at sharing my screen again here. And we'll look at this young man. And this is a video which is taken in Switzerland, and I particularly chose this one because the scenery here is just amazing. So let's get started with this one, and we'll
survey with the Wing Chun surveying drone. You will see how to plan a flight, how to collect aerial images, and how to safely interact with the drone at any time. Below us, along the lake, there is a road. Our job is to get an accurate map of the road itself and of the mountain on top of it. With the aerial images, we will produce an orthomosaic map, a point cloud, and a digital elevation model of the site. This is a challenging job for 3 reasons. First, there is a high altitude difference of 500 meters between the highest and the lowest point in the map. Second, we want to cover 120 hectares in only one flight. And third, we have to take off on a confined space on this small road. Wing Chun 1 is perfect for this job, as it's a fixed-wing drone offering large coverage that can still take off and land vertically. It carries a high-resolution Sony RX1 R2 camera with 42 megapixels, a full-frame sensor and a low-distortion lens. Then, below the top cover, you can see where the magic happens. This is a GNSS PPK module. Together with the data of a continuously operating reference station, it will geotag our images with centimeter level accuracy. To fly safely and get good images, let's check the weather conditions. Today is a good day for flying. There is no fog, no rain and no snow. In general, the best time for surveying is around midday. The shadows are short and there is enough light. And then there is wind, which is a key factor for drone flying. So we have to measure the wind speed on ground before taking off. Right now, we have 0 meters per second of wind, which is of course safe to fly. Wing Chun 1 can handle wind speed on ground up to 8 meters per second. Let's move the drone for takeoff and look into flight planning. The drone comes with a Samsung Galaxy tablet and a preloaded application called Wing Chun Pilot. This is your only interface to interact with the drone. We planned the flight already in the office. If you need to, you can also plan it in the field by drawing a shape and adjusting the corners. Here you can set the ground sampling distance. For our job, we need 4 centimeters per pixel. Wing Chun Pilot features a terrain following option. When turned on, it will automatically adjust the flight height according to the terrain. With the terrain following option enabled, we will fly safely around the mountain. And we will get the map with consistent ground sampling distance, despite the elevation difference of the site. Before taking off, Wing Chun Pilot guides you with a pre-flight checklist to make sure that the components like GPS and sensors are ready. Once you have completed the checklist, you should make sure that the airspace is free, that nobody is close to the drone. Finally, it's time to take off. Press play and slide to confirm. After its vertical takeoff, the drone transitions into forward flight fixed wing mode. When it reaches the altitude and position we selected, it will start collecting images according to the flight plan. Because Wing Chun 1's takeoff, flight and landing are completely autonomous, you normally don't have to interact with it. Your only job during the flight is to observe the drone and make sure that nothing is in the airspace. In case you need to take manual control of the drone, you have several options. You can either press pause so that the drone will loiter in the air. Or you can press return to home. This will make the drone safely returning back to where it started. You can resume the mission at any time from both of these states using the play button. In case of an emergency, it is possible to shut off the drone completely with the red cross. But note that the drone will shut off the motors immediately and fall to the ground. We are not in an emergency, so let's cancel this. By now, the Wingtra 1 has been in the air for more than 30 minutes and has completed the surveying mission. If something is in the way during the automated landing, you can take over and land manually. By pressing pause during landing, you cause the drone to stop mid-air and hold its position while it is waiting for your next commands. With the right side buttons, you can command the Wingtra 1 to move forward, backward, right, and left. With the left side buttons, you can command the drone to move up and down, or to turn around its axis. To land the drone, press down with the left button. Or you can also press the Land on the Spot button. This will make the drone land automatically. The green message means that the images and GPS files have been successfully collected and saved on the camera SD card. Make sure that the dataset is complete and check the images. After the flight, we used the Wingtra Hub application to assign accurate geolocations to the images. For photogrammetry processing, we used Pix4D, although most major photogrammetry software are compatible with Wingtra 1's images. In this image, we see that the tunnel portal and the bend of the road are particularly exposed to rock falls and landslides. With the data from multiple flights, it will be possible to measure Earth movement over time, to predict landslides and to implement preventive measures to keep the road safe. Drone data like this can also be used for many other different applications. Export the point cloud, elevation models and orthomosaic to your GIS or CAD applications to enrich your existing data. Thanks a lot for joining us on this survey with the Wingtra 1 drone. If you want to know more about the drone and its applications,
if you want to learn more about the drone and its applications, hey, come and sign up for our program. It's exciting, you guys. It's a neat program. The drone that you saw in that program is a very, very, very expensive drone. That's about a $30,000 drone that you have there. And we don't have one of those yet, but we're working on that. But we have most of the professional drone applications that you will find when you go into that. And our program takes you, if you've never flown a drone before, we teach you how to fly, and it takes you all the way through getting your drone commercial pilot's license. So please come and join us.
Thank you so much, Roy. So now we're at the point that we're opening it up for questions. If anyone has a question, you are free to use the chat or to ask questions. Hopefully everybody's ready to sign up. Well, Ricky, while we're just seeing if anyone has a question, if you wouldn't mind putting up the PowerPoint with the slide about with the flyer. I think it should be towards the end, and that's fine. You can leave it right there if it sends you to the beginning. I know sometimes it does that. So hopefully you heard something really exciting. Today we are, of course, this is April 12th, so we heard from engineering drafting, we heard about water technology, we heard about geographic or geospatial information sciences as well. And of course, all of these programs that are hands-on programs, there's a direct connection between what you're learning in the classroom and the experience you're going to be gaining while you're going to MSJC, which is really exciting, whether it's the apprenticeship program or just getting out in the field and sending a drone up into the air, which is really exciting. So please reach out if you would like any more information on any of these. We are available. And then please also share this information with others. We have recorded this, And we will be back again next week at the same time, and we will be looking at our aviation science program and our automotive technology program. The following week, we will take a bit of a break because we have other events happening that week. But then again on May 3rd, on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, we're going to be talking about the wine industry, viticulture, and hospitality, along with our culinary arts program.
I'd like to make the point that students can sign on at any point in time by writing to apprenticeship@msjc.edu. And while formally a GIS apprenticeship program does not exist, we're absolutely delighted to form a wait list. And Roy and I will be talking in coming months about what to do to get the ball rolling. I think that fall term would be the first that anybody can sign up for any of these things. So make a preliminary decision and get in touch with Ricky at apprenticeship@msjc.edu and make your interests known so that we can help things along.
Very good. Sorry, I was busy putting it into the chat for you for everyone too. It's the apprenticeship
There
at
it is.
msjc.edu. Yes. We can
That's
talk
place
more.
for asking. That's place for asking questions if you're undecided as well.
Mhm.
And we'll move materials along to you as soon as we can.
Exactly. And likewise, I'm also going to just put my email. And April, if you wouldn't mind putting your email in too, we'll both put our emails in as well. And of course, we are counselors here at MSJC, and you're welcome to reach out. We can either help you directly or make sure you're put in contact with the people in the know who can help move you to the next step of starting something truly exciting. Well, with that, then we'll say thank you so much again for joining us. Please spread the word. This is going to be an ongoing, each spring we will be doing an information series. And as I've been communicating also in the chat with some of our guests today, we are open to do road shows too. So if you are if you are interested in bringing this to schools or other venues, please grab my email, reach out, and we would love to share what we're doing here, all the exciting things that we're doing here at MSJC with your students, the families, whoever might be interested in learning a little bit more.
Megan, thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting me. Bye-bye, all.
Hi, Melita. Thank you so much.
Take care anywhere I can help.
Thank you.